Question, the member from Timmins, James Bay.
My question is to the Premier. Premier, it's not every day that the sitting government is subject of a police investigation by the anti-racket squad. It's important to proceed prudently. Does the Premier agree that to ensure there is independence and transparency at every stage of this investigation, should charges be laid, will you ensure the appointment of a special prosecutor from outside Ontario?
Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, as the Government House Leader has said, and will say again, no doubt, but I would just reinforce that we are not going to interfere or comment on a police investigation, Mr. Speaker. We're not going to do it. It's independent from government, and I'm not going to comment on things that I don't know about, and I will not interfere in any kind of police investigation.
Supplementary.
I ask you again, Premier, in order to ensure the investigation and prosecution of this matter by authorities is seen as being independent and above reproach at every stage, will you commit now, should charges be laid, to appoint a special prosecutor from outside of the province if prosecution is needed?
Mr. Speaker, this is a completely hypothetical question. I am not going to comment on what I would or would not do in a hypothetical situation. I am not going to interfere in an investigation. I am not going to comment on a police investigation. The police investigation has to be allowed to be independent and the police force carry on in an independent way. I am not going to comment on a hypothetical situation, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Final supplementary.
There's nothing hypothetical about this. Documents were requested, we were told they didn't exist, and then they existed. And now we find there is a special investigation by the anti-racket squad who is saying they found documents that supposedly didn't exist. So I ask you again, in order to ensure the decision about the pursuit of this case is arrived at independently, will the Premier commit now to the appointment of a special prosecutor who will come from outside Ontario should prosecution be needed?
Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the fishing season is way off, and I think that we've answered the honourable member's question. But again, Mr. Speaker, let's talk about what this Premier and what this government has done. And Mr. Speaker, don't rely on me. Let's look at two officers of this legislature. The Auditor General, October 8th, 2013, she had this to say: I did have the opportunity to meet with the Premier. It was good to hear that they are taking the report seriously and they are taking some actions and changing the way things are going to be done in the future so that a situation like this doesn't evolve. And from the Information and Privacy Commissioner, July 26 last year, she had this to say: I think on a go-forward basis, the government really is looking to change things. The government is dedicated to opening up access to government data. As I say, Mr. Speaker, I applaud the leadership of the Premier. She has taken this matter seriously and taken steps to ensure that it doesn't happen again.